Welcome. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I'm Assata X. I want to share something with you that I noticed. I have lots of time now. I'm retired, sitting back, still working my own business, working my own business. And from time to time, I look through the videos to see what's going on, see what's happening. And I've discovered that there's a lot of stories about black on black crime. Black on black crime, family crime, all of these really horrible things that's happening in the black community. And it's more of the black community than it is the white community. That is by design. It may be by design. AI is sending these stories to my computer because they know that I do watch them. But I watch all of them. I watch the black ones and I watch the white ones. But it's, now who's telling these stories? Let us do our homework, because there's something going on here. It's a psychological situation. They're sending these videos out to you. It's a business. They've got a business, and they're getting paid by YouTube and some other companies to create these stories. And they bend the stories the way they want to. It's not always the way the crime went. And not only is it not always the way the crime went, but it's also lacking some type of support for families or communities that are suffering from these type of situations. They're not offering anything, okay? These aren't the storytellers. There's a group of storytellers that tell stories, but then there's the crime scenes that are actually in court. So this is what's happening. They're telling you these stories, and they're leaving out. You're watching these stories, and at the end, you want to lock your door and close it and be afraid of everything around you because you saw this video. You saw this video, and that's what it was about. It was about a young man who had been incarcerated, released, came home to his family, his beloved family that has been waiting for him for years. He come home, and 6 days at home, and he kills them. He kills the mother and the son, and he's the other son, all right? Now, of course it's drastic, but where did something go wrong, and who should take the blame on that? How long ago? It's a systemic situation here in America. Well, not here, but in America. So, they released him. And this video, I'm not even going to go through it because everything was wrong with this video. Yeah, it tore my heart out. Yeah, and it was sad. Yeah, it was family. Not only was it family, but they even had the same names as my grandchildren. Same number of family children, and both boys. And a mother who loved so much one of the boys that, it was really directed at my family. My family. I noticed that. I said, isn't that just a coincidence? But let me tell you this. I'm not so paranoid about that, because if I saw the video, others are going to see this video. And I read from the comments there. But the comments were, like the video, misdirected. It was all about the mother who loved the son that didn't go to prison. And it was not about the mentality of the son that did go to prison. It was all about the big party that she gave for the son that came home from prison. But Mama never, there was no one to support the family and say, Mom, you need to, start having him see a psychologist or psychiatrist, because he's been put into an institution, an institution where it's meant to destroy the black family. It's meant to destroy our black sons and our black daughters. It's meant to divide our family. It's meant to eliminate us. He comes out of prison. The prison didn't say anything. They even mentioned in the video, I don't want to give any credit to the video. Yeah, they knew he was coming home, and they knew that something was wrong with him, but they said, one less problem in our institution. So they knew something was wrong. When he came home, the community looked at him. They knew something was wrong. Everybody knew something was wrong. 6 days, only 6 days. And his mother, that was so joyously happy, celebrating. Before he killed him, in that 6 days, before he killed him, he even managed to injure very badly his brother's arm. But everybody stayed hush. Nobody said that he did this, and the brother didn't want to come between the son, the beloved son, didn't want to come between the happiness of mother greeting the son from prison, right? So everybody was just happy. Nobody said anything until after the son from prison came home without any counseling, without any assistance to move back into the family unit as well as the community and society. Nobody was helping him. Okay? And that's when everybody started talking. After the mother and the beloved son was killed by the son that came home after being incarcerated and released. But everybody knew something was wrong. Yeah. And the reason I'm doing this video, let me tell you, I had a very dear friend. A very dear friend. As a matter of fact, he was more than a dear friend. Okay? And he ended up committing a crime and went to prison. And I remember when he came out of prison, I went to visit him once before he was released. But shortly after he was released, I remember he had a whole different attitude. Something wasn't right. At the time, I didn't know what it was, but I knew that he was very paranoid. He was constantly looking around, and he was just so nervous. Now, let's not expect that our family members who are incarcerated are going, it's taking a short vacation inside of these prisons, these institutions of incarceration. They're not going in there to have a party. What happens to their day to day, and year to year? What happens to them there? Even if you're still in touch with them all the time. When you leave and the gates close and the lights go out, There's something going on there. You're not there every day to meet up with your family member that's incarcerated. Things are going on there. The guards, these guards come in here and they're, that's a whole different story. But our family members are in there. I've had family members go in that didn't make it out at all. They were killed. They were killed while they were there in prison. There's a lot of terrible things that happen to people that are incarcerated. And if you've been in that situation for years and years, you cannot just acclimate back into society without assistance. And that's what's missing there in these so-called stories that all of these YouTubers are getting paid big time, just by finding your story and then telling the story and you liking it and your bleeding heart and you comment and their money gets bigger and bigger. Their bank gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But what are they doing? What are they offering you? What are they giving you? They're not giving you anything but heartache. They're not trying to help the community. They're just saying, hey, this is a good way to make money. We can do this and we can make money. But what is it doing for the black family? What is it doing for any family? So I want you to think about it. The next time you turn on one of these crime videos, next time you turn it on, take a closer look. Read between the lines, read between the words, and find out, oh, this is just for entertainment, amusement. But somebody died. Black lives matter. Somebody died. A whole lot of people died. A whole lot of people were injured. A whole lot of people had all their family earnings taken away from them, lost their homes, on the street, homeless, drug addicts. Something happened. But you're watching these movies and commenting and saying, oh yeah, that was really good, until it hits your family. Until it hits your family. Think about what you're watching on YouTube. And you know what they say? Follow the money. Because these young people that are not of our race, these young people, they're finding ways to dig into your pockets. And I've seen them even bragging to each other, man, I just released one. I got 20,000 comments just the very next day. Oh, wow, they're viewing it and everything. Yeah. They're talking about your son. They're talking about your daughter that was incarcerated, that was released. They're talking about your child, your father, your mother, your sister, your brother, your wife, your husband that committed a crime, did something devious, and they're in the files grabbing them and recreating your story. It's not helping our community. It's not helping our family. It's not doing anything for us, but it's making their pockets full of money. Okay? Understand what you're watching. So, by all means, if you like this information I've sent to you, like, follow, subscribe. I appreciate it. Have a good day. Until next time.